Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. Is your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief APGAINS here with a special video to teach you guys how you can become AP certified roster reviewers. Now, there are hundreds of rosters that need to be reviewed, and I'm only one person, so a lot of you guys were saying, hey man, I know you have a lot on your plate, we can help you out. So I'm going to set up a course that you guys can watch and practice to maybe one day become roster reviewers yourselves and upload videos on the AP channel. Now, if you're wondering why I'm in the dark, the real reason is my light bulb went out, but I guess the cooler reason is...
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding.
Now, before we get into the video, we're trying to get 2,000 subscribers by the end of January, so if that's something you are interested in helping with and you are not a subscriber, I actually checked my analytics, and we are 69.35% people who do not subscribe to the channel watch these videos, so if you're one of those people, consider subscribing. Alright, so I want to be very upfront about one thing. I am not going to select a bunch of people to do this. It's probably going to be 2, maybe 3 people, and me and the Discord moderating staff are going to vet all of you guys and decide who wins the challenge and is going to be able to help us with the uploading of roster reviews. Now, there are certain things that we are looking for in each and every roster review. Time-wise, we're looking 6 to 8 minutes is probably the expected amount of time it will take to complete all of the tasks we have decided should comprise a thoughtful roster review. Now, one of the main guidelines is we only want people to review rosters that are around their same GP or lower so that they can speak from their personal experience when they're suggesting maybe Zetas, maybe modding advice, teams to farm, stuff like that. So, as you guys know, every roster review starts with an overview. So since I'm on my girlfriend's channel or on her account, I would hop into, say, a roster like this, and I would quickly overview all of the characters. I'd say, okay, she's got some Separatists, she's got some Jedi, she's got some Bounty Hunters, stuff like that. And I would take a brief overview of what she's got going on, try and figure out what it is she's farming towards, so that maybe I can offer suggestions on how to go about that goal. So let's say, for example, I know her goal is to get CLS. So she has leveled and geared up her rebels, for example. I would help her find the best Empire team that I can quickly get to 7 stars to unlock R2-D2 to help her get into that CLS event once she hits level 85. That would be an example of how I would take what they're farming and make suggestions that could help those players. Now, one of the main things, if you're going to be a roster reviewer, you're going to be helping earlier players with, or even mid-game players, is farming priority. There are so many characters that you can farm in this game, and some people just don't know the order in which they should go about farming those characters. So when you hop into a roster, like Nikki Biggs' roster, for example, you would help direct her. I'd say, keep farming towards your Stormtrooper Han to get him to 7 stars so you can get that CLS event. Once you unlock Bosk and Django, start to farm them up to 7 stars so you can have a powerful high banner Bounty Hunter team and prepare for that Chewbacca 7-star event, stuff like that. Another important thing that you're going to have to help people with is Zeta Priority. Now, she doesn't have any Zetas, but she does have one in the bank, so you'd say, well, once you get to the point at which you can apply a Zeta, what Zeta should it be? I would tell her Merciless Massacre for Darth Vader is probably number 1, then probably Jolie Bindo's Revive, and then Bosk's Leadership, for example. Another important thing that you're going to have to help people with is identifying where they are GAC-wise, what division they're in, what are the teams that they're likely going to encounter on defense and their opponent's offense, so that they can work around those teams. So let's say if their opponent places a Geonosian team, how are you going to help them counter that Geonosian team? Their opponent is probably going to run a Darth Vader solo. What are teams that do a little bit better against a Darth Vader solo at lower gear, for instance? Or maybe they run a Darth Revan team. How can you help that player prevent that Darth Revan team from getting too much damage done before you can strip some banners or maybe even get a hold? Those are the kind of things that you're going to have to help all of these players with. Some other important things that you're going to talk about in a roster review are core teams that a player should farm, especially if they're in the early game and they don't know much about the game. You're going to suggest starting to farm Jedi, bounty hunters, rebels, stuff like that. You're going to help that player identify what they should start, especially if they're an earlier game player and might not have a lot of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes experience. Another thing that you're going to want to teach them is what are late game teams that will always be effective that you can get on top of early, like for a Padme, for instance, or for a Jedi Knight Revan team, stuff like that. What are those late game teams that you can easily and effectively start to farm as soon as you hop into the game? Examples being, hey, once you unlock that Bastila Shan and Jedi Knight Anakin nodes in those tier 5s of Dark Side and Light Side, start farming those guys up, get them to 7 stars. Get that Jolie up. Lots of people don't get Jolie to 7 stars super early. They can't progress towards their Jedi Knight Revan after they've gotten their Rebels and their Jedi and their Bounty Hunters all going on. Those are the things that you're going to suggest to those players. Especially if they're early game players, you're going to need to help them with Geonosian counters, because Geonosians are going to be on the front wall super often, and you're going to have to devise the best course of action for that player's specific roster to counter those Geonosian teams. If they got Traya but no Zeta, tell them, hey man, you got to get that Zeta. If they have a Darth Vader, but it could be relic to become a soul, be like, hey man, maybe if you got that Darth Vader higher. If they're super low and they're around the place they need to be to get a good Padme Anakin team to counter a super weak Geonosian team, be like, hey man, maybe a couple more gear levels on Anakin and Padme would really help you out here. Stuff like that. Then at the end, go over modding that they have on certain characters super briefly, just to find if they have any glaring issues. Like, for example, if I don't know, Jolie Bindo is modded for super high potency or something like that, or if they're missing mods, give them quick examples of how they can improve their modding situation without using up too much time, so that you have enough time to help more people with their rosters, stuff like that. So those are pretty much the things that me and my mods are looking for in a roster reviewer. Now, how is this contest going to work? Take a couple of days to watch this video, maybe to open up your allies, go into your allies and look at their rosters and plan out how you think you would review that roster. And then after a couple of days, I'm going to ask you guys to send in videos that me and the mods can watch. And then we're going to go through a vetting process, make sure that you hit all of the requirements that we're looking for. Maybe look for some other factors that we haven't quite decided yet, like maybe how well you speak, for instance, because if you have a mic that's hard to hear, maybe you're not the best person to be reviewing rosters for hundreds of people who are trying to get some good information, stuff like that. So take a couple of days if this is something you're interested in. I know in Discord this is a super popular idea, so it's probably going to be mostly active Discord members. But if you've always wanted to get into making Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes videos, this could be a great way for you to practice before you venture out on your own and start doing your own thing. So think if you're interested in, at this point, I guess you've already watched the video, so you've done that. Take some time to practice. Send in a video when we ask for them, and hopefully we pick you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Again, trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of January. So if you've made it this far, comment, I don't know. Comment, I gotta find something. Comment free pizza. I mean, people love to comment free pizza for something like that. Comment free pizza. And I'll see you guys later.